We've all tried blaming our own mistakes on our string tension. But how important is the string tension really? Let's figure out in this video. In this video, we're gonna test 3 different stringing tensions: 10 kilo, 11 kilo, and 12 kilos. We'll try and highlight the pros and cons for the different stringing tensions. We'll be using the exact same racket, we'll be using the exact same string, so it's all about the stringing tension. The areas that we're gonna test are control, power, and responsiveness. A quick disclaimer before I start testing. The tests are my subjective opinion, and I've been a former professional player, so have that in mind when I go through the different tests and explain it. Enough talk, let's start testing the control. And we're gonna test it at the net. So from a control point of view, I actually don't think the differences were that big from 10, 11 and 12 kilo. The small thing was that I had a bit better control on the 12 kilo, but the 10 and 11 kilo gave me a bit more safety, I felt. So when I did the net spin, I felt I had a bit more spin on my shuttles with the 12 kilo stringing. On the other hand, when I didn't hit it right, I lost a lot of control with the 12 kilo. The 10 and 11 kilo, I felt I had a good safety in my shots, but a bit less spin. Let's move on to the next topic, power. So overall, from a power point of view, I really liked the 12 kilo one. I felt the reaction time were much faster versus the 10 kilo one. If I had to say it, the 10 kilo stringing tension to me felt a bit slow in the reaction time, so it almost feels like the shuttle were kind of dead on the racket. Hopefully you know what I mean by that. One thing on the 10 kilo one, as the sweet spot is a bit bigger, I felt I had good power on it, but the precision was a bit tougher to control versus the 11 and 12 kilo. I think the difference from 10 to 11 was much bigger than going from 11 to 12 kilo. The differences was mainly reaction time, precision, and also power. I felt I could hit a bit harder with 11 and 12 kilo. The last area we're gonna test is responsiveness, and I'll test it by playing some flat exchanges. Overall, the flat exchanges, I felt the differences were a bit bigger here. The 10 kilo one, I felt I had good speed throughout the entire shots, but the speed of the shots were the same. Whereas on the 11 and on the 12 kilo stringing tension, I felt when I hit it on the sweet spot, I had great power in my shots. But on the other side, when I didn't hit it on the sweet spot, I lost a lot of power. One thing I would like to add, even though it's the same racket, I felt with the 10 kilo stringing tension, my racket actions were a bit slower. I think it might be that the shuttle time on the stringing tension were a bit longer. And even though it's perhaps a split second, I could actually feel that. So overall, I think the 10 kilo racket has a bigger sweet spot. Sweet spot is the area where I have to hit the shuttle for maximum power. The reaction time on the 10 kilo is a bit slower versus 11 and 12 kilo. From a control point of view, I think the lower tension you have, the more safety you have in your shots, whereas the higher tension, so 12 kilo, is a bit more demanding to you as a player. So if I have to wrap all this up, there's nothing right or wrong. It all depends on your level as a player. As a rule of thumb, the higher level you're at, the higher tension you'd like to have. The more beginner you are, the lower you should probably go, because that will help you in playing the right shots in your matches.